You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right, I appreciate you so much, Wes. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode 128, and it's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Mania, which I have a feeling that sometime in the near future, I will be in touch with Kelly in regards to a vehicle. I was told by my mechanics Automotive and Towing, my man Rex. I was talking to him about Carrie's vehicle the other day, talked to him about an issue that I was having, described it to him, and he said, ooh, yeah, you might need to be in the market for another vehicle, but let me take a look and I'll let you know. If it's something that I can handle, I'll handle it. But the way you're describing this is that of head gasket failure. And he said that if that's the case, you're going to need to go and probably look at a new vehicle. So with that being said, or a newer vehicle, maybe not brand new, but a newer vehicle. So there's a good chance that Kelly and I are going to be having a conversation about this in the very, very near future. Hey, he's right there on the left when you come into Manio, just past Jump Masters, right there before the Good Times Dog Retreat. It used to be Big Al Soda Fountain and Grill. Again, right there, vehicles, lots of them. He's got work vehicles if you need like a work van or something like that. He's got those out there. He also has sheds. There's not a whole lot that Kelly doesn't he's not a professional in. Check him out online, kellysOBXauto.com. And again, if you have those unwanted pests in your life, and I'm not talking about your kids, I'm not talking about your husbands, I'm not talking about your wives, I'm talking about rodents, creepy crawlies, ants, bees, wasps, stuff like that. I mean, big rodents like rats or mice or nutri-rats or you know what I'm saying, raccoon problem, whatever. They can help you with that over at Outer Banks Pest Control. Yes, check them out online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. They do routine services. They'll do your home. They'll do your office. They'll do your place of business, whatever the case may be. Outer Banks Pest Control will service. Again, online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. Oh, my Lord. Yes, Hurricane Aaron making its way past the coast as we speak. But I'll talk more about that in a few moments. This past weekend, though, y'all, let's talk about the good. The good. Great weekend. I had again, Saturday I felt accomplished at the end of the day. There was lots of things that I had been neglecting to take care of at my house that I needed to get done, and I was able to accomplish those things, the different chores that have been piling up because I'm busy. My wife works all the time. I work all the time. I mean, my kids, Austin, I have him responsible for certain things, but then there's some things it's like, no, that's daddy's job. You know what I mean? So I was able to get a lot done, and we finished the evening by having dinner with my father-in-law for his birthday. So my dad and my wife's dad have the same birthday, August 18th, 1953. They were born, each one of them. I don't know what time, but they were both born on August 18th, 1953. Same day of the same, not the same year, obviously, but the same day that Virginia Dare was born. So Saturday night, we decided to celebrate my father-in-law. We went to Two Roads Tavern, and if you haven't been to Two Roads in Kitty Hawk, they got that new location there where Longboards used to be, and it's a great location. It's very nice in there. The food is fantastic, and I'm sure they got great drinks and stuff like that. And me, I just had a Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? That's what I sipped on. But I know my father-in-law had a margarita. He thought it was great. My wife had some sort of Tito's something or other, not something that I partake in, but I mean, I'm a foodie and their burgers there are absolutely phenomenal. So you get a chance to go to Two Roads, please do so. Sunday, we went to the Norfolk Outlet Mall, or the Norfolk Premium Outlets. Didn't even know they existed. All right. So we ran up to Norfolk, do some back to school shopping for the boys, and got a few things, got some clothes and stuff like that for them. And I discovered a store. It's called Born United. When I went in there, I felt like I was at home. Lots of cool stuff in there. I ended up getting a shirt from there, getting some things, and I got some stuff from my boys from there. The guy in there was super cool. I believe he was English, but he sounded like he was Scottish. And I said that to him, and he's like, no, I'm actually English. And I was like, well, you're still pretty awesome. So I'm going to give them a shout out. Born United at the Norfolk Premium Outlets. Definitely a cool store. And of course, we had supper for my dad that night. We cooked out at his house for celebrate his birthday as well. It's a great weekend. Great weekend. However, I had a lot of things planned that I wanted to get done this week. This is the last week before school starts here in Dare County. Or let me say it that way. Early college has already started, but like the other schools, your elementary, middle, and high schools, they're all scheduled to start next week, starting on the 25th. They had a lot of activities surrounding, though, the opening of the schools for this week. And those things got kind of pushed to the wayside because of Hurricane Aaron. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. I'm not going to go down the deep rabbit hole of the many different things that are going on surrounding Hurricane Aaron, but I do want to mention a couple of things. Some people were concerned that the state of emergency went out way too early. I don't think so, and here's why. There is a set order to things here in Dare County that need to take place and on the Outer Banks. And that state of emergency helped a lot of people in a lot of different ways. If you had travel insurance, there's a good chance that it probably helped you with your travel insurance. Getting off the island, off of the southern Outer Banks and Hatteras and Ocracoke Island, I mean, the travel, it made it so that it's not like it was a mad dash to get off the island at the last second before the storm hits. They were actually able to get off safely and efficiently with accountability and environmental sensitivity. Yes, that's the North Carolina Department of Transportation mission statement. Okay, they're able to get them off the island. So you got to appreciate the fact that, I mean, some of the businesses were affected. Yes, they were. Not going to deny that. I saw a friend of mine post something on his social media about it, and he was not thrilled that they declared a state of emergency as early as they did. But I do not discredit that at all. I mean, I hate that they're going to lose it. I mean, that is part of the risk you take by opening a business or having a business on the Outer Banks. There is potential for a hurricane to come, and there is potential for you to lose business because of said hurricane. All right? It's the risk you take. If you don't like the fact that your business had to be closed for a couple of days and you lost some business, you need to go open a business in Raleigh or something. I don't know what to tell you there to where like you don't have to worry too much about hurricanes. I don't know. Again, I hate it, but it's just a fact of life here on the Outer Banks. Okay. Other things to think about. I'm going to say, for me, not too terribly concerned about, like, the concern that I have is I have a lot of pine trees around my house. Okay. Lots of pine trees. So that's the only concern that I have. My major concern are for those that are down on Hatteras Island with the ocean overwash and the road washing out. And it's something that when I worked for North Carolina Department of Transportation on the Highway Division, I remember Superstorm Sandy coming by the coast. And I mean, it closed Highway 12 from, right before, 2011, 2012, right before Halloween, all the way up to Thanksgiving. We were out there day and night. I mean, I called it Operation 12 Resurrection because we had to literally dig it out. And there were parts where it was 6 to 8 feet deep in sand. And we had to dig that road out. All right. And I mean, there was a bunch of us. It was a group effort from a lot of different not state departments, but the Department of Transportation in different areas. I think Elizabeth City came down. The Maple crew from Currituck came down. We had Hyde County, Terrell County. I mean, it was a big group effort that was helping us dig that road out. But again, we were trying to get it done as fast as we could so the roads could be open for the people in Hatteras Island and people that own homes down there and just to get the supply chain back open. It was a big mess, y'all. Really, really big mess. But I just pray that it's not that bad down there and that it's not too terrible to where it's just they can't function. You expect the ocean overwash. That's going to happen. Okay. But I pray that the ocean recedes, that they can get the road back open and that there's no issues and that hopefully by next week back to fully functioning Hatteras Island and the vacationers, you all can come back. I know a lot of you that were here or those of you that are planning to be on Hatteras Island. Just be patient, please. Be patient. Our county officials, our state workers and everything are going to be working tirelessly to make sure that you can get there and that it is safe and everybody can have a great time. Okay. So please be patient. That's all I'm going to ask. So that's all I'm really going to say about Hurricane Aaron. All right. So coming up in this episode of the podcast, I know we're still a little ways out from 9/11. Of course, we all remember where we were when the world stopped turning that September day, as Alan Jackson puts it in his country song. I got a gentleman coming in named Mr. Lee Goldman. He does a 9/11 walk in KDH. I heard him speak about this at another event I was at last week, and I asked him, I said, Mr. Lee, why don't you come be on my podcast and let's promote this for you and try to get some people to come and be a part of this 9/11 walk in Kill Devil Hills. So I'm going to have him in here in just a little bit to talk about that. Thinking about news, again, Hurricane Aaron is all I can think about right now. As far as anything else, I would suggest you go to Sam Walker, SamWalkerOBXNews.com. Love me some Sam Walker, one of the greatest guys I know, fantastic person inside and out. He and his wife Emily are wonderful, wonderful people. So SamWalkerOBXNews.com is the source for news on the Outer Banks. The best source, in my opinion. Oh, gosh. I had a good time at Pirates Cove last week when I was out there for the Billfish tournament. They weighed, 3 blue marlins. The first one came off a boat called Play It By Ear. I believe it was 601 pounds. Okay. Then the Marsh Madness on the last day of the tournament weighed a 878 pound blue marlin. And then coming in at the buzzer, Deep Color weighed a 806 pound blue marlin. I don't know that. I was talking to Captain Marty about this, and he told me, he said, Justin, he said, I don't know that they have weighed 2 800-pound blue marlins in a single tournament ever anywhere. He said he's trying to do some research. He's going to try to find out, but he said it doesn't look like that's ever happened before. So there might be some history made of this past year's tournament. I mean, it was a great tournament. I enjoyed being out there every day with Captain Marty and just all the festivities. I'll tell you, our tournament directors did a phenomenal job keeping everything going and flowing. Wonderful food, lots of great activities going on out there at the Pirates Cove Billfish tournament this past year. So I was thankful to be able to go out there and walk around and make it my feature for last week's podcast. I talked to the girls in the ship store. I talked to the tournament director. I talked to a good handful of people, and it's a wonderful place, a wonderful thing. So thankful for Pirates Cove and allowing me to be out there last week. I just mentioned Captain Marty, but of course you can hear all of his fishing reports and his stories online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Not sure how to find him on OuterBanksThisWeek.com? I'm going to make it simple for you. Go to Google. Type in the word Captain, type in the word Marty, Captain Marty. Click on the very first thing that pops up at the top. That is Captain Marty's page with Outer Banks This Week. All of his stories, his fishing reports, and his fishing shows are right there for you to listen to at your leisure whenever you so desire. So that is how you can find the Captain. Tournament season is officially over for now, but the captain and I have some big plans for this fall, which I will reveal in the near future. I got to fine tune a few of them, but the captain and I will be out and about. You best believe that. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to jump into a couple of shout outs. But before we do that, hey, man, our boy, Matty P, was out on the streets, and he found himself at one of our newest members of the Outer Banks This Week family. He found himself at Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint. Matty P, what was going on at Jack Brown's this past weekend?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Matty P, back with another edition of OBX After Dark. All brought to you by, that's right, you guessed it, the Jolly Roger. Come on and bring your pirate crew down to the Jolly Roger restaurant located at milepost 6 3/4 there on the Beach Road in Kill Devil Hills. If you're hungry for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they got what you need. You know what I'm saying? Look, if you want to peep their menu before you get there, check out JollyRogerOBX.com. Let me tell y'all where I was at this weekend, man. I haven't done this place in a while. I don't know that I went there last year, but apparently they're the new ownership. I went on down to Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint there in Kill Devil Hills. I think it's off Baum Street, right across the street. You know, if you're looking at 3 Tequilas and you take a left there down on the beach road, you get to Jack Brown's. It's a cool little spot, man. And look, they got a lot of things going on. They've been having a lot of fun this summer, man. And there's a couple things I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? Look, I heard there was a little bit of a challenge. What do we got over here? Yeah, a little Oreo challenge, a little burger challenge. And look, if you beat the record, they'll pay for the meal. And I just seen on Instagram that the record for the most Oreos eaten in one sitting is 60. Lord knows I don't think I could do that. But let me have at that burger challenge, and you know where you find your boy Matty P. But look, let me tell you what they had going on. Look, they had silent disco going on, man. They had EDM music, 90s hip hop. I think it was old school hip hop and 90s throwbacks. And look, man, it was packed, man. There was a lot of people up in that joint, man, doing a cha-cha slide, a little moving to the left, moving to the right. You know what I'm saying? Taking it back now, y'all. And look, man, I'm gonna give it a BPL. The BPL at Jack Brown's was a 7.9. 7.9 at Jack Brown's. That's a fair score because it's not really like a club type vibe. But man, the music was bumping. The booties were pumping. And by bumping, I mean the music was on my headset for silent disco, man. It was really a good time. But look, if you're looking for something to do in Kill Devil Hills, check out Jack Brown's. They got all sorts of stuff going on, man. Try out some of those fried Oreos. Have yourself a couple burgers. Maybe you hit that notch list. Hit 100 beers, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get in where you fit in. Yeah, I mean. And look, y'all, Matty P's birthday's coming up this weekend. You already know what's about to go down. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
Being healthy, a goal everyone should have for themselves, and at the Outer Banks Sports Club in Nags Head, it's a goal they take very seriously. Their mission is to help people from all walks of life achieve their personal health and fitness goals. Whether it be to lose weight, get stronger, increase speed and agility, or simply to improve your overall physical and mental health, the Outer Banks Sports Club is the gym for you. They offer the largest and best selection of fitness equipment throughout the Outer Banks, suitable for beginners through top-notch athletes. Visit them online at obxsportsclub.com to see their facility and to get signed up. The Outer Banks Sports Club in Nags Head, proudly keeping the OBX healthy and strong for over 15 years.
Hey y'all, Captain Marty here. And when I was looking for a top quality mower, I went to the best. And the best is A&W Sales in Pinetown. Now at A&W Sales, they carry top quality brands like the Bad Boy zero-turn mowers, of which I own one now for 15 years. American-made, heavy-duty machines built to handle anything from backyard touch-ups to commercial jobs. They've proudly sold and serviced Bad Boy mowers for over 15 years. How about if you're in need of a trailer? A&W Sales carries the full line of Big Tex trailers, the best-selling trailer brand in the entire nation. Visit them in-store or online at awsalesnc.com, where tough equipment meets trusted service.
All right, we're going to jump into some shout outs. And again, as I like to tell you guys, I love talking to you. I love conversing with you. I enjoy every opportunity I get to talk to you all that listen to the podcast. You pour into me, I want to be able to pour right back into you. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Let me start with my first shout out to my man, Mr. Rob Link. Mr. Rob Linkletter, he actually came and brought his family and participated in trivia last Wednesday at McGrath's Burger Shack and hung out with me. All right, super great to meet him. Fantastic guy. His wife, sweetheart of a person, great kids. I enjoyed that so much, Mr. Rob. I appreciate you coming in, and I thank you for making a stop and hanging out with me part of your vacation, man. That meant a lot to me, and I really appreciate that. I also want to shout out to Miss Vicky from Maryland. She stopped in last Wednesday and visited me at McGrath's as well while I was doing trivia, and she brought me some presents. See, I've been talking with Miss Vicky a lot over the year. Testerman, I probably messed up her last name. I guarantee I just did. Regardless, though, she knows who she is, and she's actually been listening to me since I've been on FM radio, and she listens to the podcast. She came and hung out with me at McGrath's the other night, brought her husband and her son, Austin, and brought me some gifts, gave them to the boys. I mean, I haven't tried my barbecue sauce yet that she got me, but I'm really, really getting ready to crack that bottle open here in the near future and put it on some chicken and see what it's like, but looks really good. But I want to say a special shout out to those two and thank them for coming to see me at McGrath's, and I welcome you to come see me at McGrath's Burger Shack Wednesdays at 6. Hey, my man Adam from the Edinburgh area of Chesapeake, he's come and done trivia with me before at McGrath's. We're going to have fun. Guarantee you're going to have a good time. So I appreciate them for coming in and hanging out with me. Let me shout out now to all the first responders and the men and women working for the Department of Transportation, specifically the Highway Division. Thank you all for all of your efforts and everything you do to keep the roads open, to take care of our citizens, to make sure everybody's safe. And that's another thing I want to mention about this hurricane, getting people off the island before any winds or overwash starts. Now, I would like to think that everybody would exercise some form of, common sense. But not everybody does. And I can only imagine what it would be like if we did not evacuate and there was vacationers down there and they decide, somebody gets brave and they're like, oh, I can make it across there. Ocean overwash. You see the waves going across the dunes and somebody drives across. Next thing you know, they're washed out in the ocean. And then we got to call the Coast Guard. And then we got EMS out there and they're putting their lives in danger because you decided not to use common sense. All right. So that's why we have to do a lot of the things that we do for, the emergency management system here in Dare County, because we don't want our people to have to risk their lives more than they're already having to. OK, bottom line. So shout out to all the first responders that have been out during the storm, that continue to work and fight the good fight on a daily basis, whether you're police, EMS, fire department, any of the first responders out there, our NC Department of Transportation folks. Thank you for trying to get the roads open, keeping them clean, keeping them clear. I know it's a big fight. I've done it before. I understand. Okay. So thank you guys. Shout out to each and every one of you. I also want to shout out to all the teachers, whether you are teaching here in Dare County or you're a teacher somewhere else. School's in for the season, or school's in for the school year. There we go. It's not that, school's not out for the summer anymore. School's in for the school year. Yeah. So y'all, thank you for all that you do. I know you're overworked and underpaid, and trust me, I would love to continue to work on the pay scale in Dare County or the pay scale in the state. State sets those things. So lots of things that I've been looking at, just so you know. And I appreciate each and every one of you and all your efforts and all your energy and how much you love your job and how much you pour back into our children. It's amazing. So I want to shout out the teachers. I pray that each and every one of you have a wonderful school year. All right, take another break. When we come back, Mr. Lee Goldman will be in here to talk about the 9/11 walk in KDH. So we'll talk to him in just a few minutes.
Hi, I'm LB Daniels, and when you want great local seafood, you go to Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese. How do I know it's great? My daddy is one of the fishermen that brings it to the docks. At Fresh Catch Seafood, you will get local seafood right from their fish house. They are a family-owned business that knows the name of every fisherman that comes to their docks. Visit their social media pages to see the latest catches. My daddy would love to put his tuna on your dinner plate, so get it now from Fresh Catch Seafood in Wanchese.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
All right, as promised, Mr. Lee Goldman has joined me in the studio today. Now, Mr. Lee lives in Colington, and he, again, as I said a little earlier, does this walk every year for 9/11, remembering those that were at 9/11. And he starts in Killable Hills. And, we'll get into the details about the walk and everything here in just a little bit. But, Mr. Lee, how are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
Man, I'm wonderful. I'm glad you're able to come in here and hang out with me for a little bit and talk about this walk. But you know what? I got to know a little bit more about Mr. Lee. Who is Mr. Lee? Give me a history of, if you were to start writing a bio, what would be in this bio?
Wow, that's a pretty interesting question. I started off in New York, so I guess I fall under the category of damn Yankee because I stayed.
That's okay. We'll look past that.
Yeah. So I started up in New York and started off as a volunteer firefighter many years ago up in North Belmore.
Okay.
And eventually became a paramedic and worked for the Nassau County Police Department as a paramedic. Retired from up there and decided to come down here in 2016 with my family and started working full-time for Dare County EMS until I retired from them earlier this year.
Okay.
I do now work for Pro One Pest Control, so it's kind of a different aspect as to type of work.
Okay.
Both satisfying, but for different reasons.
Right. So you said you were a police officer. Wait a minute, no, I messed that up. You worked in Nassau County up in New York.
That's right. I was a police medic for the Nassau County. So we were civilians.
Okay.
Within the police department itself, and we used to go out in single-person ambulances.
Okay.
And treat patients. And our agency did roughly about 70,000 patients a year about the time I left in 2016.
Okay.
So it was a very active, covering over 1 million residents of Nassau County.
Holy smokes. You come down here to the Outer Banks where we have 38,000 year-round residents. What a change. Now, you worked as a paramedic, you said, until earlier this year here in Dare County, correct?
Yes. And so I'm finished with that part of my career. And now I'm doing something that I get to stay home at night on my own bed. Which is nice for a change and not having to run out.
Speaking of change, what was it like going from, having to service 1 million residents roughly to roughly 38,000 residents here in Dare County? Was it quieter? Was it slower? Was it a change? How was the change of pace for you? What was the difference?
It was a little bit different. The types of patients are kind of the same, just maybe a little bit less of them.
Okay.
So that, and sometimes finding where the call is could be a little bit longer of a ride than we were used to in the area that we used to work.
Okay.
Sometimes you could have to drive almost 30 minutes to get to where a patient is in some of the remote areas here, which I guess makes the Outer Banks what it is.
Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah. So now I guess you moved to the Outer Banks. Now, did you vacation here? How did you discover the Outer Banks?
Yeah, back in the early 2000s, me and my time wife, we came down here and we would vacation. Her parents lived down here, and eventually we bought property and started building a house in 2016.
Okay, very cool.
That's where we are today.
Okay. So you talk about being in Nassau County and in your job up there, and it sounds to me like you were there in Nassau County in 2001.
That's right.
More specifically in the month of September. Very hard day, very difficult day.
It was. I actually had to change hats in the middle of the day. I started off as a police medic in the ambulance and heard on WNBC radio that there was a small plane that had struck the World Trade Center.
Okay.
Went inside to watch and find out that was a bit understatement. And then live on TV, watched the second plane hit. My other, I guess, job would have been considered as logistics chief for New York 2 Disaster Medical Assistance Team. At that point, I then got activated and had to leave the police department job and go and assume the responsibilities of the logistics chief for the New York 2 team. So I had to mobilize my equipment, our team, and get from point A to point B during a unexpected, chaotic time.
Wow.
Yeah, the city that we all work in was under attack, and which made it a little bit extra difficult because most members of the team were firefighters and police officers and medical personnel from New York, and they were in the capacity of their normal day-to-day jobs. So we didn't know if we were going to get those crews to assume their secondary job because they were already in the midst of theirs.
Right.
Being in the suburbs of Nassau County, I was a little bit further remote. I had time to do a little bit of planning, grab my stuff, and go and assume those responsibilities.
Wow. So I hesitate to ask lots of questions here. I have questions. So this walk is very near and dear to you. Getting to the towers, to the site, give me a little idea of thoughts that you were having as far as when you got there and some of the things you may have witnessed. Again, you answer however you see fit here.
Well, by the time I had gotten myself all set up and ready to go and got on one of the bridges to report to my station, which was up in Westchester, New York, kind of out of the way, but that's where all my equipment in our warehouse with all our supplies were. By this time, the towers had already come down.
Okay.
We landed up on scene because of, I would assume communications would probably be the best way to say it. Nobody knew exactly when to pull the trigger to release us to go. We got stuck up in Westchester for an extra day and landed up on site on September 12th.
Okay.
Which in itself was extraordinarily frustrating that everybody wanted to get in there and do their job, but we were being told to wait. Eventually, we landed up going into the city, reporting over to Chelsea Piers, and eventually setting up medical aid stations pretty much for whatever workers were currently working on the pile. Tertiary duties, most of whatever the initial crash of the planes and the collapse of the buildings, those people were either dead or already transported to the hospitals. So it was more second and third for the responders to take care of them for on-site treatment if needed.
Okay. Well, your job was very important, and I appreciate everything you did those days that you were having to be out there and taking care of those that were really trying. I can't say I understand your frustration because I wasn't there, but I can appreciate your frustration of, that speaks to the heart of the person that you are, wanting to, what are we waiting for? There's people that need our help, and wanting to be there to assist and do everything you can to take care of those that were trapped and at such, unfortunate situation. So that speaks to the heart of the person that you are. And I thank you for that, for being willing.
That's pretty much installed in most first responders. We have a hard time sitting back and watching others do a job that we feel we can do also.
Right.
I guess it's just like baseball. Everybody wants to come off the bench and play.
Yeah.
And, being a first responder is not really a spectator sport. You're either a person that gets in and gets it done, or you're watching it on the news.
Yeah. Well, I thank you. I thank you very much for your willingness and your being available to respond as quickly as you were. So again, thinking about the event that's coming up on September 11th, it's a Thursday this year. Talk to me about the walk. Where does it start? Where does it end? Like what is talk to me about it.
Well, we start over at the Dare County EMS Station 1 / Kildeville Hills Fire Station 14.
Okay.
The original one was at the old station for EMS in the back of that building, which is now, I believe, the Public Works for Kildeville Hills.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So we just decided to, or me and a couple others, did a walk to the top of the monument, and I thought that was going to be it. And that was just over 1.5 miles. And then it turned around and realized, well, I got to walk back.
You got to walk back.
And when I was done, it turned out to be the equivalent of a 5K.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting. Took me about an hour. I really wasn't in a hurry. I was just kind of going up there and came back. So I thought about it and I said, this would be a great thing to do on 9/11. So what was eventually going to be just myself became 34 people on the first year that we did this. And that was...
What year was that? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
That was 3 years ago.
Okay.
So this is actually 4 years ago. This will be our fourth year doing it.
Okay.
So 2022.
Okay.
Just actually completed rehab on a second knee surgery. So I kind of felt a little bit better and thought I could do the walk. So it was a little bit of a personal a quest to accomplish that. I had wanted to go to Buxton and do the Hatteras Lighthouse with their fire department. But due to COVID and several other things, that's been pretty much unavailable to get up into the top of the tower. I kind of felt I needed to climb something. Well, the monument became the next closest thing for height that was open to the general public.
Right.
So it morphed from 34 people the first year to 100 people the second year to last year we were at 200 people.
Wow.
So I would love to see 300 and see it grow, but I wouldn't be too upset if we hit 400, if not more.
Okay.
So I do invite anybody and everybody to attend. Now, when we go, we start at the fire station, EMS station, and we do a little prayer. This year, we're incorporating the national anthem to be sung by one of the members of the Outer Banks choir.
Okay, very cool.
So we had something a little bit different there. And then we start exactly at 8:46 in the morning which was the time the first plane struck the building. So the time has a significance to it. A lot of the local fire departments, Colington, Kildeville Hills, Kitty Hawk, Southern Shores, and some others have done the walk, and they've done it with not only turnout gear, some have done it with air packs, some with high-rise hose packs.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a lot younger than me. So,
well, you're what, 50? How old are you, 49?
Yeah, with several years experience. Yeah, we're going to go with over 60, and we're just going to keep it with that.
Okay, all right.
So, but this year, and I've done it with my New York turnout gear. And what was special about last year is my son accompanied with me, and he did it with a set of turnout gear. And my daughter, she's 12 and he's 16. They both have plans this year to be wearing turnout coats, turnout helmets, to make the walk with their father. And we carry flags. Right now we have about 10 American flags. We have some blue line flags, red line flags, 9/11 flags, Patriots Day flags, and so forth. And I'm working on a couple special other things to be happening that I don't exactly want to say on the radio yet because it's not 100% confirmed.
Perfect.
But if you want to come down and check it out and see what it is, that'd be great. So we walk up there through the assistance of Dare County EMS and Kildeville Hills PD. They utilize their Polaris and Gator to assist us at the top of the hill. God forbid there's an issue with somebody. And also they help us bring up drinks and misting fans.
Okay.
We take a little bit of about a 30-minute break at the top of the monument, and we do some group shots so everybody sees what's going on. Get a breather, which is much needed, especially when it's extremely warm, like 80-something degrees.
Yeah.
That last 200 feet going up that monument's a little bit difficult.
I bet.
And then we reflect on that, and then we turn around and we head back to the station. And through the generosity of different establishments like Stackham High and Kildeville Hills, Food Lion, New York Bagels, Duck Donuts, Front Porch Cafe, they assist us with beverages for a little fellowship afterwards, some food, some drink, and also Almost Heaven Bakery. She makes the best cookies, let me tell you.
Okay.
So I got to give them a plug out there because they do step up and take care of us. They don't ask for anything in return.
That's excellent.
Which I think is excellent. It's another part of the community. What I found probably the most, I don't want to say satisfying, but heartfelt was when we were on 158 going from the station to the monument. All the people honking their horns and waving, and truckers and cars. At that point, they were remembering 9/11, which is something that we kind of are forgetting. Just like we forget about December 7th and other things that have happened through this country. And it wasn't done to one side or the other. It was done to America.
Yes, that's right.
And since then, this was the biggest attack on American soil that there has ever been. I'm sure everybody always jokes around about the 6 degrees of separation. I guarantee you, when you deal with somebody, especially in my local area, it's 1 or 2 degrees.
Right.
Someone knew somebody personally that perished on 9/11. So that's pretty much kind of how this whole thing transpired. And we just have a good group of people that have been attending this, and there's no pre-registration. There is no fee. It's show up. I do look to get a list of names and emails and stuff so I can forward that. And if you are a Dare County employee, I do believe that Dare County accepts that as a wellness point. So you get a free point for doing a 5K.
There you go.
So you can do the Dare to Scare and this, but you can get a couple extra points for doing some wellness.
That's excellent. Couple questions I have. First of all, just to kind of make sure everybody's clear on where the Kildeville Hills Fire Department and everything is in the EMS station. That is right next to the Dare Center, correct?
It is.
In KDH.
Yeah, and that affords us the ability to have a little bit of extra parking. Sorry, I haven't asked permission, but I'll ask for forgiveness if people park there. Meekins Field is right there.
Yep.
So, but hopefully, if I have to get more parking than that, then we're doing really good.
Well, I just want more, anybody that may not be familiar with, they may ride by it and just not realize what it is over there. But I just want anybody that may be wanting to attend and they're not familiar with where the station is, give them a point. The Dare Center, where the Belk Shopping Center, a lot of people will call it.
Belk,
Food Lion.
Max's.
It's right next to it, just to the south of it.
Yep.
So let's say I want to come out and I want to attend this walk. You know, it doesn't cost. I love that. I love that it's anybody that wants to show up and participate can. But I want to show my support for my political party. How would that be received?
Well, it is not a political event. I've expressed this over the last 3 years. It is not a political event. It is not a spiritual event in the presence of one religion over another. You want to display an American flag? That's great. You want to display God Loves America t-shirts and all that, and Patriots Day. And if you want, you can wear any fire department shirt. All the fire departments sell them. Kildover Hills, Collington, Kitty Hawk, Duck especially. Or Collington, let me rephrase that. Collington selling them. Come down the road. And show your support for your local departments also. There are no speeches. We do, like I said, we do a national anthem, we do a prayer, and then we roll, as they said on the plane. And that's it. It's Democrats, Republicans.
Oh, Lord. I think that's a National Weather Center alert we just had come through.
There's a rumor there's a hurricane.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
Yeah, it happens.
But anyway, sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. And it's great that you guys anybody can be of any political party. This has zero to do with views. The attack on 9/11 didn't specify one particular political group. It pretty much was against America.
Right.
And that's what this is. You had a bunch of people that were in need of assistance, and the amount of first responders that perished trying to make rescues that got up to high levels on the floor. And did anybody expect those buildings to come down? You know, we were always told that was how the buildings would come down, exactly how they did. But you never think that was going to happen. I can't name you one first responder that I've ever met or worked with in my life that worried more about the fear than going and doing the job. If they do, well, they're usually short-lived there. They're not doing it for 40-something years.
That's right.
So, and if you are doing it for 40-something years, you have a little bit of smarts to know when to go and when not to.
That's right. Well, I just kind of wanted to specify a little bit more in regards to to reiterate what you just said. It's not a political event. It's not a spiritual event. You want to bring your American flag, bring your American flag. Don't come out there with any sort of agenda. And I'll say that, do not come out there with an agenda, because it's like you said, when they decided to attack America, that's exactly what they were attacking, America. It wasn't one political group over the other. It wasn't the Christians against the atheists. It was nothing like that. It was attacking Americans, and we want to show that we are all Americans united. And so I'll say, you want to wear your American flag shirt, wear that. If it says anything other than that to push any sort of agenda, please don't. This is not about that.
Yeah, it's Patriots Day, as they now call it.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter who you are. We've been patriots. We were patriots during the wars. We may not agree with certain things, but we do need to agree that we are Americans. If you don't like being American, well, then you can move.
Yeah, you can move.
And I will say, straightforward, if you do come there with an agenda, I will ask you to leave. Most people that do know me, there's a good chance I really won't care. But you have to respect my views and opinions just like you want us to respect yours. And on this day, if you feel that strong, don't come.
No,
but if you want to be a part of something to help bring maybe a little bit of healing to the people that may have known someone that lost somebody, to the special people that are attending from other areas that have actually made the pilgrimage to come down here to participate in this, because now they live down in this area, which is good for them. The VFW will be a part of it. Most of the first responders, everybody here has been given invites to attend. And if it goes further, and people from Currituck or Camden or Chesapeake or anybody else comes out, they are more than welcome. I do say try to come early so you can get parking, because we will start 8:46. We don't wait.
Yeah, of course. So coming early is important. So that brings me to my next question. People want to know more about the walk. They want to just make sure that they have a readily available source to go to get information. Can you talk to us a little bit about where they can get more information, people that may want to be there?
Yeah, very simple. The only media outlet that I have or social outreach is Facebook.
Okay.
I was told when you're over 50, that's pretty much all you have.
Okay.
So if you were to look under groups and you happen to type in Outer Banks 9/11 Memorial Walk, you should come to that. We got about 237 people involved in the group right now, but it gives you the current state of how everything is. It tells you the time, the place, where to meet and everything. And there's also a big cache of photos and videos from the past. We've had some good videographers from Kitty Hawk PD. Jason did a really good job one of the years and made a spectacular video with music to it. And it was very touching. And since then, that stuff has grown a little bit. It's great seeing everybody up there as one person. Didn't matter who you are.
Right.
Cops get along with firemen. Firemen get along with cops. People talk to nurses.
Yeah.
The left talks to the right.
Yeah.
It's about the day and nothing else. And we have to get back to that. As someone had once said, we need to get back to being how it was on September 12th, remembering that we're Americans.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely right. Well, one other thing that I can tell you that I just did a moment ago was I went to Google, and I'll show you, Mr. Lee, on my screen right here. I went to Google and I typed in 9/11 walk in KDHNC, and it gave us a quick little overview about, be held at Kettleville Hills on, the AI overview that pops up every time you search for something now. It says the event starts at 8:30, but the march begins at 8:46. Now, again, Mr. Lee says, the march is going to start at 8:46, not waiting for anyone. The suggestion is that you get there early so you can find a place to park, because that's going to be probably the biggest issue, if I had to guess. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I do have somebody that had offered up, and they were going to get back to me in reference to one of those big signs that go down to the road. And I'm sure I could ask DOT or the police department. But this person offered up that said event parking
right.
or 9/11 events. So somebody wanted to volunteer to do that. I'm okay with that. The reason I also say 8:30 is with the thought of having possibly one or two events happening just before that in reference to somebody arriving, the national anthem, the prayer. By the time we get ourselves gathered and mustered, I like to make sure we start on time.
Right.
So as they say, if you're not early, you're late.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Henceforth,
that's how I operate.
Henceforth, I showed up here 20 minutes early.
Yeah, and that was totally cool. I was like sitting here on the phone. I was like, oh, shoot, Mr. Lee's here. Okay, come on in. Let's sit down. So, but again, after you see this little AI overview, you scroll down a little bit, and then there it is right there, the Outer Banks 9/11 Memorial Walk on Facebook. And, of course, you click on that, and it'll take you right straight to that. And that's how I found it earlier, Mr. Lee. Before you got here, I was like, okay, I want to make sure that I don't sound like a complete buffoon when we're talking. And I found it. I was like, oh, I can join this page. And of course I joined, and then of course got this little thing. So let's welcome our new member. And I thought that was kind of neat. So
yeah, I'm still new to how to run a real group. So it doesn't get out there as much as I would like to, but as long as it gets shared, I'm sure I'll circumvent the ability of not being out to the general public. And I will say that I do look at every single person that comes on. And there have been a couple that I'm like, yeah, there's an agenda. Goodbye. And, or, they're from a totally different country or something that it didn't make sense that
right.
they were connected. So, and I don't need people looking at our group to have any other nefarious reasons or anything. So I try to police it the best I can. The only thing I ask for is be kind to everybody on here. It's just an informational group for the most part, let you know what's happening. I've posted on this page before for different other events. On October 11th, there's going to be a Tunnels to Tower walk.
Okay, yeah, talk to me about that real quick.
Well, I don't have a whole lot on that because that's something I'm actually not really involved in.
Okay.
I do help out, but
we can get some more information on
we're gonna connect you up with the person there. He'd be best to talk, and I don't like to talk about someone else's event.
I got you. Understand.
You want to talk about an eventual fundraiser for the Colington Fire Department I got coming up? We'll talk about that another time. And as far as Toys for Tots coming in December, so we could talk about that too.
You'll be back to talk about that.
You're talking about that. They get me involved in all those.
Yeah.
But I also do the Tunnels to Tower, which was my first outside 5K. Sorry, don't run it. Got titanium knees. Told me don't run.
Don't run.
So I will be the last person arriving the finishing line this year again. But
well,
know my number.
One thing I'm going to do is the description of this podcast, I will include a link for your Facebook page so people can click on it, go and, hopefully join the group, get more information so that they can stay well aware of times and date. Well, of course, the date, but I mean, hopefully everybody remembers the date, but locations and things of that nature. And if they need to connect with you directly, they can send a message to the page, that sort of thing, and ask you any direct questions that they may have.
On that also, there is also a Google email.
Okay. What's that?
That's on. It's N as in Nancy, B as in Bob, F as in Frank, D as in David, 674@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can send me an email and I'll take a look. I'll answer any of the questions that you have. You can send me a direct message, I believe, through this or inquire it somehow. For the most part, like I said, it's fairly a cut and dry type site. So,
well, and that's fine. That's totally cool. You've got all the information up here. And again, if people want to contact you, we'll post that email on there. And we'll also continue to promote this for you here at Outer Banks this week.
Outstanding. Thank you.
So, well, Mr. Lee, I think, did we cover everything? Did we get through all we leave any mental stone unturned?
There's a lot of mental stones unturned. But I think other than that, I think we're good. I think we have it out there to everybody. Like I said, this is getting bigger and bigger each year. It's the big invite. It is, just so everybody knows, it is rain or shine.
That's a good question.
It is rain or shine. So join the fire department, get some really good turnout gear so you won't get wet.
Okay.
It does make it a little bit warmer, but it is what it is.
Right.
I will admit that there are certain individuals, they're from Kildare Hills. They've, in the past, have gotten to the base of the monument and they've actually locked in to go on air and use their air packs to the top.
Okay.
They too are younger than me.
Oh, so, Lord.
That's good. And we will have, because I was asked if there'll be any transportation, if they can do the walk, but they have a hard time getting up to the top of the monument. I am working on that, and I am very confident that I will have the ability to get people up there.
Okay.
And like I said, when you do get to the top, we will have refreshments up there so we can get that little extra oomph to head back for the next 1.5 miles.
Okay. Excellent.
So we're pretty good at that point.
Good stuff, Mr. Lee. Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you giving me some time today to talk about that. If you need more information, again, the link for Facebook page and your email is going to be listed in the description of this podcast so people can email you or contact you directly through social media. So Mr. Lee Goldman in here with me from Colington to discuss the 9/11 walk coming up on September 11th. Starting at the Kildare Hills Fire Department and EMS station, going up to the Wright Monument and then coming back. So again, more information, you can contact him in the different forms of media that I just discussed. So Mr. Lee, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum. When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. All right, let's take a look at some events now. And again, these events can be found online at outerbanksthisweek.com. And keep in mind, some of these events may be affected by the storm. Okay, so I ask you to keep a look at our website. If there's something that you were looking at particularly wanting to do this weekend or coming up, I would suggest staying in contact with the event coordinators, the businesses, and also keep it right here on outerbanksthisweek.com, and you will find out what exactly is going to be taking place for the weekend and everything that's coming up that way. So with all that being said, let's take a look now. According to my information, still happening on Saturday is the Downtown Mania Market. That is something that happens every Saturday. It's going to be going on through the middle of September, so keep that in mind. Lots of entertainment going on at Saltbox Cafe in Kildare Hills. NC Coast has got, looks like Brian Campbell, a one-man band, is going to be playing. It's NC Coast starting at 6 o'clock this Saturday. Lots of things going on at Jolly Roger. You got Manny O'Murphy is going to play at 2. Then starting at 6 is some guy named Joel. And then Trivia with Jody is going to be going on as well. And then the Chez Band, Chezze. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're going to be playing starting at 7. Dude, the Jolly Roger's got a lot going on this weekend. And of course, they got a lot going on. They got Tim Holland Buffalo Country coming up that night at 10 o'clock. Again, all this can be found in all the details online at outerbanksthisweek.com. Click on the events tab and you can see it all in its entirety. Live music at Stripers on Sunday. There's going to be music at Fish Heads, Whalehead Brewery, and Kerala. Again, a lot of these things, could possibly be affected by the storm, but it's hard to tell right now. So I'm going to read them as I see them. Open mic night at McGrath's going on Monday night, August 25th from 6 until 9. That's actually the first day of school here in Dare County, barring nothing crazy happening. Lots of things going on at the Frisco Native American Museum on Tuesday. Buffalo City Distillery's got some things going on up that direction on Tuesday. Some things going on at Ride the Wind in Ocracoke, provided that you can get there. That guy Shane is going to be at Jack Brown's Beer and Burger Joint Tuesday, August 26th, starting at 7 o'clock. And then, again, provided everything works out the right way, we got the WRV Outer Banks Pro Surfing Contest starting Wednesday, August the 27th, and I'm pretty sure that goes through the weekend. Let's look at all of it. Yes, it goes all the way through Sunday, August 31st. That's going to be at Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head. So there's something that you could go and watch and see. And I mean, it's something to be had right there when they do that surfing contest. I know there's a lot of activities surrounding it. So again, more things coming up that next week at the Jolly Roger, at Froggy Dog. Also things going on, Kerala Cornhole tournaments at the Northern Outer Banks. Where is that? Is that at the Whalehead Club? It looks like it's at the Whalehead Club. Let's take a look here. Yeah, historic Kerala Park. Yeah, I was reading it really quick in my brain and I was mumbling. I apologize. But I've got trivia. Again, there's trivia, live music all up and down the beach, still going on all the way through Labor Day weekend. Let me take a look at Labor Day weekend. While I'm getting to Labor Day weekend, don't forget, I talked about it earlier, but McGrath's Burger Shack is where I host trivia right there in the Outlet Mall in Nags Head. The Outer Banks Mall is what it's called. It's right next to the Outer Banks Hospital, right? Kind of tucked up in the corner. It's close to GNC. I think what is over there? Not Island Snowball over there. There's a few different little places over there that you can go and check out as well. I believe like Pokebox. What am I trying to say? There's Island Smoothie, I guess is what it is, or Tropical Smoothie. There we go. They're over there as well. But McGrath's Burger Shack is you're going to have fun. I guarantee I'm going to make it fun for you. Let's see here. Buffalo City Distillery, Friday, August 29th, kicking off Labor Day weekend. Jeremy Russell is going to be at Buffalo City Distillery. Now, I'm telling you, Jeremy he was on the podcast with me back in January. And he's got a lot of different gigs. I'm telling you, you're going to have a fun time with Jeremy. If you go hang out with him, you're going to have a great, great time. He is one heck of a dude to go hear live, and he's a fun guy all the way around. So that's just one thing that you could be doing. You could go hang out with Dr. Bacon. What the heck? At Jack Brown's, it's starting at 10 o'clock. What is Dr. Bacon? $12 cover. Dr. Bacon is an Appalachian fun rock band based in Asheville. Stay greasy, y'all. Dr. Bacon returns to Jack Brown's in Kildare Hills for an evening of perfectly smoked, greasy rock and roll goodness. Get a $12 cover starting at 10 o'clock Friday, August 29th. Oh, man, that sounds like fun. That sounds like something I might want to stay awake for and go to. Just got to let my wife know that it's a good idea. So that's something else that you could do on Friday, August 29th. Saturday, again, WRV Outer Banks Pro going on at Jeanette's Pier, the Downtown Mania Market, Ocracoke Seafood Festival, Kool and the Gang. I forgot to mention Kool and the Gang. I apologize. They're going to be at Roanoke Island Festival Park Saturday, August 30th with Divergent Sounds. Gate's going to be opening at 5. Show's going to start at 6:30, and you can go online right now to livefromobx.com to get your tickets. Kool and the Gang. It's ladies' night, and they're going to be celebrating those good times with Kool and the Gang. Again, Saturday, August 30th. Gates at 5, shows at 6:30, and you can go online to livefromobx.com to get your tickets. And I would suggest getting them fast because they probably ain't going to last. So continuing on into Saturday, lots of different activities at Jolly Roger, Saltbox Cafe, Fish Heads. There's going to be karaoke at Uncle Ike's Sandbar and Grill that evening. Going on into, Sunday, August 31st, which is my brother's birthday. Happy birthday, Dirt. Lots of different things going on Labor Day weekend. I'm not going to keep gunning through the list because they go on and on and on and on. With that being said, go to OuterBanksThisWeek.com. You can see them all in their entirety. All right. One more quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up. I'll be right back in just a few.
Discover a timeless escape with Joe Lamb Jr. and Associates. Family owned for 3 generations and proudly serving the Outer Banks since 1968, we offer over 500 vacation homes. Oceanfront, pet-friendly, and family-sized options available. Whether you're booking a getaway or buying your dream home, our trusted local team delivers personalized service and unmatched OBX expertise. Thousands of families have made memories with us. Let us help you make yours. Visit JoeLambJr.com, a timeless escape since 1968.
Discover the legendary wild Spanish Mustangs of Kerala up close and personal with Backcountry Safari Tours. Since 1993, Backcountry Safari Tours has guided guests on unforgettable 2-hour off-road tours through 30 miles of beach, dunes, and maritime forests. Ride in the open-air safari cruisers with 360-degree views, comfortable seating, and sun canopies. Explore the untamed beauty of the Outer Banks and create lasting memories with your family at Backcountry Safari Tours. Book today at wildhorseskerala.com.
All right, let's wrap this thing up, shall we? I don't think I forgot anything. I really don't believe I did. But if I did, let me know. Justin at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. I want to thank Mr. Lee for coming in and hanging out and talking to us about the 9/11 walk going on in Kill Devil Hills. Next week, again, I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants right now. I'm not going to lie. I've been very busy, and I'm trying to stay ahead of everything as best I can. I may try. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I have an idea of what I'd like to do for next week, but it's all if everything pans out the way I want it to. And if it doesn't, then I got to go a different direction. So I'm not even going to mention it because as soon as I do, it's not going to happen the way I want it to. So we're going to leave it at that. I have an idea. I have a plan, and I'll let you know whether or not my plan comes to fruition or not. So Outer Banks This Week podcast, wrapping up episode 128. Again, it's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio and online at kellysobxauto.com and powered by Outer Banks Pest Control. You can check them out online as well at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com. All right, I'm out of here. Have yourself a great, wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe. Please, for the love of the Lord, stay safe because I want you tuning in again next week for whatever excitement I'm going to bring your way. So I'm going to head out of here. Again, I will see y'all next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.